want to talk about, and I know I say it a lot, but it's only because I believe it more than anything else, which is patience and slow down before we crown someone a champion. That also goes for players. Slow down before you crown them the greatest thing you've ever seen. Right now, Lonzo Ball is, he might as well be the second coming of Jesus. I've heard people compare him to Magic Johnson. I've heard the skinny LeBron James comparison. I've heard just all kinds of out there kind of comparisons. Which they'll do it with one or two players every year. They'll always tell us, slow down on everybody. You got to give the kids time, but they'll always give the top one or two when you get an elite prospect, not just the best player in the draft, because sometimes the draft is weak, but they will give you an elite prospect and they'll be like, he is that great. He's going to be this guy. Well, let's slow down on them too. And as I always preface this with saying, I don't dislike any of the players that I talk about in this regard. I simply want to slow down and give context on the situation. Lonzo Ball is a great player. I think he's going to turn out to be really good, but I don't think he's this generational player people are making him out to be. In fact, I've got another player who currently plays in the NBA who plays just like Lonzo Ball, who's even bigger than Lonzo Ball, who has turned out to be all right. Not a bad player, but not a great all-time player, the way they're putting Lonzo Ball in this category. One of the things you always have to watch out for is guys in college basketball generally get overrated because they either get National Player of the Year or they have a great March Madness run. Now, once again, no disrespect to either of those two things. Those are two very impressive feats. When you win National Player of the Year, that means you were probably pretty good that season. You have a great March Madness run. It means you were hot and you were playing well during that stretch. But let's not forget, Jimmy Fredette had one of the great March Madness runs, and he's currently playing in China, putting up like 40-some points a game in China. But he's playing in China. Owners, especially with the March Madness runs, get really obsessed because a lot of owners don't watch every single game. They're not as in depth on player personnel as they should be. That's why they've got general managers. That's why they've got scouting departments. They're just not that into it. But when they see someone on March Madness and they see them going crazy, they want that guy. Buddy Hield's stock improved a whole bunch because owners saw him. The Kings owner thinks he's Stephen Curry. That's how owners think, and that's fine. Once again, I will never tell a billionaire how to run his franchise. But with Lonzo Ball, let's keep into some context. A guy who I think he compares very well to, and that would be a guy that I was really high on, and I thought was going to be. I won't lie. I thought this guy that I'm going to talk about, I thought he was the next Magic Johnson. But I was also a sophomore in high school. So, my intelligence and my view and perspective might be clarified as a little cloudy. Back in 2009, 2010, Evan Turner won the College Player of the Year, National Player of the Year. Evan Turner averaged 20.4 points, 9.2 rebounds, 6 assists a game. That's a pretty complete player, if you ask me, considering, and I will give the disclaimer of Lonzo Ball is doing this as a freshman compared to Evan Turner is doing this as a junior, but they're still very good comparison in terms of how they play. Lonzo Ball is averaging this year 14.7 points. He is averaging 6.1 rebounds and 7-point assists a game. 7.6. They both have very similar styles. The one thing I will give you on Lonzo Ball is that he is a better shooter than Evan Turner. I think that the shot's funky, but I really like his dad's logic about his shot, that who cares if it looks weird, if it goes in, and perfect your shot. Don't worry about shooting pretty, because if you shoot pretty and doesn't go in, it doesn't matter. And I 100% agree with that. So take Lonzo Ball, what he's doing, Evan Turner, what he did back then. I thought Evan Turner was going to be great. I mean, I thought Evan Turner it was him and Derek Williams, and I thought it wasn't even close. I thought Evan Turner was by far the better player. Evan Turner, people compare Lonzo Ball and saying like, oh, he looks like Magic. Evan Turner literally looked like Magic Johnson. He was 6'7", 210 pounds, could pass, he could rebound, he wanted to be an all-around player, he could score when he needed to be, he was an okay three-point shooter. He wasn't great, but Magic was never a great three-point shooter. Evan Turner's pro career gets drafted by Philly, the start of the process. 7.2 points, 3.9 rebounds, 2 assists as a rookie. Okay. NBA has its way of messing with everybody. Fine. We can look past that. His second year in the league, 9.4 points, 5.8 rebounds, 2.8 assists. Okay, a little bit better, improving. He's getting more minutes. Third season, 13.5 points, 6.5 rebounds, 4.5 assists. Okay, a little bit better. Then he goes to Indiana, averages 7 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. All right, now we're starting to regress. Has a career year, averages 17.4 points, 6 rebounds, 3.7 assists. That was Evan Turner playing like Evan Turner from Ohio State. And let me clarify, Evan Turner is a good player. But considering as good as he was in college, which I think was every bit as good as Lonzo Ball, if not even better, for his 7-year career, he's averaging 10.6 points, 5 rebounds, 3.7 assists. Still making $16.3 million, which shows you the NBA, everyone's inflated in their salary. But, that's a different topic. I'm just saying, calm down and slow down on Lonzo Ball, because he has a really good comparison in Evan Turner, and Evan Turner was bigger. I don't really know about faster. They're probably about the same speed. Both had great vision. Both could shoot, although I'll give the shooting edge to Lonzo Ball. But the being bigger one is the one that matters to me, because being bigger does matter, as we just saw in these last NBA Finals. When LeBron James is that much bigger than Stephen Curry, that makes a difference, and a huge difference at that. They just always remember, I'm not trying to hate on Lonzo Ball, and I'm not trying to be some guy who's just like, oh, you just don't like new people. No, I'm just saying, give everything its context. Slow down. There's a reason why we have one Magic Johnson, one Michael Jordan, one Larry Bird, one LeBron James. Not everybody turns out like that.